The year is 1000 AD. On a small island in the middle of the Seine, church bells ring before dawn. Smoke rises from timber houses packed so tightly together you can barely see the sky. A rooster crows. A woman empties a bucket of waste into the gutter. The stench of animal dung and wood smoke fills the narrow lanes. This is Paris, and almost nobody in the world has heard of it. Where you see the grand boulevards of modern Paris today, the Eiffel Tower, Notre-Dame, the Louvre. In the year 1000, none of it exists. There are no stone streets, no cathedral, no city walls, just a muddy island, a river, and a handful of churches. In the year 1000, Paris is a provincial town of weak political and economic importance. It's home to perhaps 20,000 people, smaller than Constantinople, smaller than Cordoba, and a fraction of what Rome once was. But something extraordinary is about to happen. Just 13 years earlier, a nobleman named Hugh Capet was crowned king of the Franks. He chose this island as his seat of power. A dynasty has begun, one that will rule France for over 800 years. The king on the throne in the year 1000 is Robert II, known as Robert the Pious. He's a scholar, a musician, and deeply devout. But his kingdom barely extends beyond Paris itself. His vassals barely acknowledge his authority. The great lords of Anjou, Blois, and Aquitaine are often more powerful than the king himself. France, as we know it, does not yet exist, but Paris has something no one can take from it. Geography. The Ile de la Cité sits at the crossing of every major trade route in northern France, north to the English Channel, south to the Mediterranean. And just a century before the year 1000, Paris proved something else, that it could survive. In 885, hundreds of Viking longships sailed up the Seine, carrying tens of thousands of Norse warriors. They demanded tribute. Paris refused. For nearly a year, just a few hundred Frankish soldiers held this island against everything the Vikings threw at it. Battering rams, fire ships, catapults. The Seine, the bridges, and the sheer stubbornness of Paris held. That siege changed everything. It proved Paris could be defended. It made the counts of Paris into heroes, and eventually into kings. The Capetian Dynasty was born from that defiance. Now back in the year 1000, what does daily life actually look like on this island? For ordinary Parisians, the day starts at dawn and ends at dark. There is no street lighting. The nights are dangerous. Most buildings are made of timber, wattle, and daub. Plaster from the gypsum quarries of Montmartre covers the walls. Fires are a constant fear, and with no chimneys, smoke fills every room. Water comes from the river or from private wells. There are no public fountains yet. The Seine is both lifeline and sewer. People drink from it. They dump waste into it. They wash their clothes in it. The old Roman sewer that once served the left bank, destroyed in the 3rd century. It won't be rebuilt for hundreds of years. In the year 1000, the few paved streets have narrow channels down the center to carry away rainwater and waste. What do Parisians eat? Bread is the foundation of every meal, coarse, dark, baked from wheat or rye. Wine, not water, is the safest thing to drink. It comes from vineyards that climb the very hills around the city, from Montmartre, Belleville, even Issy. The right bank of the river is where commerce happens. Small boats dock at the port. Merchants trade salt, grain, and timber. A corporation of riverboatmen, the Nauts, control the waterways. Their symbol will one day become the symbol of Paris itself. On the left bank, across the Petit Pont, the old Roman city is still visible, but barely. The great forum, the amphitheater, the bathhouses, all in ruins, overgrown, slowly being swallowed by the earth. But the church has not crumbled. On the left bank, two great monasteries anchor the city's spiritual life: Saint-Germain-des-Prés and the Abbey of Sainte-Geneviève. These monks are the city's scholars, its record keepers, its memory. Religion dominates everything. The church bells divide the day. Mass is attended daily. The bishop and his clergy are among the most powerful people in the city. Some historians believe the bishop held as much real authority on the Ile de la Cité as the king himself. Society is rigidly divided. At the top, the king and the nobility. Below them, the clergy, perhaps 10% of the population. Then the merchants and craftsmen. And at the very bottom, the laborers and the poor. The vast majority. Life expectancy is brutal. Disease spreads easily in these cramped conditions. Infant mortality is devastating. Evidence suggests that many Parisians in this period live only into their 30s or 40s, if they're lucky. And yet, there is resilience here. Across Europe in the year 1000, something is stirring. Historians call it the medieval warm period. Harvests are improving, populations are growing, and all over France, new churches are rising. One writer says Europe is clothing itself in a white mantle of churches. Within a century, this tiny settlement will begin to transform. Kings will build stone walls around the city. The streets will be paved. A massive new cathedral, Notre-Dame, will begin to rise on the eastern end of the island. And Paris will grow to become the largest city in Christendom, where that small stone church once stood on the eastern tip of the island. Today, Notre-Dame rises. Where the mud lanes ran, Haussmann's boulevards now stretch for miles. The medieval city was almost entirely demolished in the 19th century, but beneath your feet, it's still there. In 1965, excavations beneath the parvis of Notre-Dame uncovered the old Gallo-Roman walls and Roman baths dating to the 4th century. Layers of Paris, Roman, Merovingian, Capetian, compressed into just a few meters of earth. You can visit them today. In the year 1000, nobody could have imagined what Paris would become. A muddy island with 20,000 people and a king most of France didn't respect. But that island had geography, defiance, and faith. And from that, everything followed. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Which city should we visit next? As always, we'll see you in the past.